Howdy. Howdy. Yeah, I need to set up some more shit, but I'm currently fighting for my fucking life right now.
No, it's just not picking up everything. I think it should be fine now.
Okay, so starting this off with just a little spiel to explain why I dragged you two in here. I got this idea after watching Everything Wrong with Red Dead Redemption by the YouTuber Duke Miser. You might not recognize that name because other than a few videos, he's pretty small. The video is him tearing down a guy's CinemaSins critique of Red Dead 1. In it, the idea of how much Jack remembers of Red Dead 2 is brought up, which led to me wondering how much I remember of my childhood, which led to a video idea, which led to me bringing you two in here. Can you tell that I have autism?
Yeah.
We can just bounce around. Any particular order you guys want to go in?
I think we just find someone to start off, and then we'll see what stories we can connect to that. So like the word association game, kind of, but not at all.
Alright. I think I'll start off with one from my preschool era that I affectionately refer to as the Sam I Am fatality. So I went to a preschool in West Virginia fucking long ass time ago. It was like, well, it was like 18 years ago now, and they had a bunch of toys there for like all the little girls and boys, and one that I really liked was this plushie of Sam I Am, you know, the green eggs and ham character.
Yeah.
Because this was a preschool in one of the poorest, shittest states in the Union, the Sam I Am was a donated toy that wasn't in the best condition. Like, the stitches in the back were sort of wearing out. And I would mess with them because I like to fiddle with things. And one time during like the scheduled nap time, I was fiddling with the stitches, and I managed to get my hand inside of it, and I feel what I can only describe as a spine in this Sam I Am thing. It's like a foam rod that connects the head to the body and keeps everything straight. And I get the bright idea of pulling it out, and in the process of doing that, I do the Sub-Zero fatality where he just fucking rips the head and spine off. Keep in mind, I really like this toy, and I just butchered this poor Sam I Am. He only wanted to give me his green eggs and ham. And so I decided to dispose of the evidence by stuffing it in a small basketball hoop and pretending to go back to sleep. But when nap time was over and the teacher saw it, they knew who it was, because I was the only one who played with that toy.
So you know those Netflix documentaries of making a killer?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything. I was thinking about something the entire time you were telling that story. As soon as you got to, there was a thing that felt like a spine. I got to that, and I'm like, so this is where it began.
Marmar the serial killer.
Do you got a story that connects to that, Lone? Because I do kind of have a story that connects to that. So I think the one story that I have that I can connect to like weird things happening during nap time was the teacher playing like guitar music, like soft guitar music, while it was during nap time and shit to get us to fall asleep. And for some reason, like, this DVD had like ended with some dude giving like an ad read for some like show. So the teacher usually tried to turn it off before it got to there, but the teacher forgot one day. So it's just, you know, calming guitar music and everything, and all of a sudden, fucking like, tickets now! And everyone in the fucking class just immediately wakes up screaming.
Oh man, that must have been a headache for the teacher when they came and all these fucking kids crying while the vacuum salesman in the corner is going,
Tickets now! Tickets now! Like, I don't remember what it was being said, but I remember it was like trying to sell like some tickets to a show or something, but it was so fucking loud. Probably wasn't even actually that loud, it was just my kid brain amplified it. My kid brain that was like half asleep just amplified it to 200%.
I remember they used to play music to get us to go to sleep too. And I don't know who it was, but one of the teachers snuck in some metal, like, you know, Coheed and Cambria?
This can only end well.
Yeah, it's like that, where it's just starts off really soft and then it goes really fucking hard. I would play it here, but I don't have it readily available, and I don't want to risk a copyright strike. But yeah, imagine trying to go to sleep to that when you're like 4 years old, and the hardest music you've listened to is like AC/DC on the radio.
You got any stories from preschool alone?
I wouldn't say like anything from like preschool, like in preschool rather. There isn't really like that many things I would say that are like mischievous or anything like that though. Honestly, if anything, I think my preschool time was a lot more, I guess, innocent in a way. But like around there were some good things like here and there. Like around like 2000. When was this? Finding Nemo. That was like 2004, basically. So around like 21 years ago. I do remember this. My dad remembered this better than I do actually, and it wasn't until he brought it up till I remember it fully. And that me and him kind of went to see it. And around that time, my sister was a year old at that point. So we like after we finished watching the movie, I liked it a lot. So we like went and saw it twice, but with her and my mom the second time. That was like later in the day, I think though. Like some like splotches like here and there, because I was we were in Texas around that time in San Antonio area. So like especially like late at night, like driving down, and we sometimes will have like the windshield roll down because we will have like the older cars, because I don't know if you guys are aware, if either of y'all remember the some cars actually having the roll up and not being automatic. And,
yeah, it's a manual crank.
Manual crank, yeah.
My mom had one of those types of cars for a while. It was fun.
Yeah. It kind of got annoying though. I actually liked the fact that when we got the Mazda, it was automatic, and I was like, okay, good. I don't have to strain my arm every time I just wanted to roll the window down. But it was actually nice, like driving down there, like obviously in the back seat, like just either going somewhere to eat or going like somewhere in general, like, and just like smelling the restaurants and the barbecue and stuff like that. Though that was actually something kind of nice, though. If anything, I remember like that's pretty nice. Another big one, I guess, around the same time was I kind of told my pastor this after recently going to church, that going to Kids Zone, which I don't know if y'all are aware, this is basically like this youth center, and it's actually really good. Like I haven't had any issues there, even though you hear like some negative stories. Not at Kids Zone, but like at other like youth church places, which is par for the course for any like youth place in general. Basically, like there are predators like everywhere, but luckily, like mine, the place I went to was actually pretty clean. Like everyone had fun, and the people working there were actually really good staff, and they had a lot of fun though. And they did like little puppet shows and plays, and we did a lot of music and stuff like that though, and it was pretty nice. And talking about like old kiddish friendly Bible stories, which were actually pretty fun. Like the old apartment that we used to go to, which we moved around a lot because my dad was in the Air Force around the time, so we moved like every couple months to a year at a time, I think. So that was pretty much my lifestyle at that point. It was pretty much normal to like move every now and again, and getting a new apartment or getting a new school, which I didn't really mind all that much because it was kind of an adventure. So it was kind of weird, like growing up and kind of realizing that technically isn't really normal, that most people don't move all that often. They'll move either like once or twice in their lifetimes, and not like every couple months to a year for a few years at a time. Oh yeah, another good one. This was like 2006. Like, yeah, that was a pretty good year. That was a pretty monumental year, I think, in my younger years too. That was when we saw Dead Man's Chest in theaters, which was pretty awesome, actually. I remember liking that movie a lot, wanting to watch it pretty like a lot as well. I remember watching it first time, and I remember almost being in denial, technically, of Jack Sparrow's like death, quote unquote. Technically, he didn't die in a traditional sense, but I didn't really think he was dead though. And I remember having that funny argument with my aunt at the time, which is kind of funny because I do believe she was a teenager at that point in time. I think she was like 18, 19 at that point. Because she's a mom now with 3 kids now, but it was actually funny going to that funny argument with her though, and she did like say that when I was like much younger that me and her were pretty tight, obviously, but I think in retrospect I think I was tighter with my uncle when he visited. One thing I definitely don't really miss, even though it was fun, was driving all the way from Texas to Virginia. Like that's like a 3-4 day trip. And like we visited a handful of times during the summers, and summer 2006. Yeah, I remember visiting around that visiting around that time. It was actually pretty awesome, and I remember like this is one of my favorite memories is that fishing, and I liked fishing. I like fishing with my grandpa, and it was actually pretty awesome. And I remember it was like him, my uncle, and my dad, and myself were all on the boat, and we were all fishing. We were all catching like different like fishes. I don't know what type, but I'm guessing it's just like your standard like run of the mill, I guess. And then we caught a good number. Then we went back to the house, and we essentially made like fish sandwiches out of them. And it was actually pretty awesome. It was because it was just fresh and it was just something like we made. And it was actually pretty awesome. My grandma actually was the one who cut them up and breaded them, but it was pretty awesome. Though honestly, I think that was a really pretty good day.
I remember me and my dad used to go fishing, and I would always catch drum, which, if you don't know, are very heavy fish that taste like shit.
Yeah.
It was one of the reasons to make me not like fishing, despite being a quote unquote country boy, having grown up in West Virginia and then Missouri.
I think the only fish I've ever caught on the like 2 times I've ever been fishing have been like 1 catfish, and there's like too young to be able to keep, so we had to throw it back in.
How many times have you gotten a hook in the finger?
I've only been fishing twice, so none. I haven't had that happen.
I got one in the finger, and it got dangerously close to my fingernail.
Ooh.
Yeah, getting a hook in your finger is not fun. Getting one in the fingernail is fucking hell. I think that happened to my dad once. He's got like a split open thumbnail.
Going to see like Disney and Pixar movies as a kid, even whenever I was in preschool and shit, I did not care for a lot of kids' movies. I don't know why. Like I didn't like robots. I didn't like most Disney movies that I watched. I think the only like kid movies that I liked, unironically, were the Spy Kids movies and Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Of course, you had like the Cartoon Network movies for like fucking Powerpuff Girls and another movie for Ben 10. Now I'm thinking the live action Ben 10. I think I liked that as a kid, but I only watched it like twice. So, and that I was like right as when it came out, so I was like maybe 12, 13. But no, I just didn't like I don't like Disney. I didn't really like Nickelodeon all that much. I was definitely a Cartoon Network Boomerang kind of kid.
Oh, I remember Boomerang. That was so fun.
It's still on to an extent, but it doesn't have like the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons that get used to. They don't show as often as they used to do back then in the 2000s.
Back then, Boomerang was almost all like the old 80s, 90s cartoons, 70s, 80s cartoons, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was all the Tom and Jerry stuff, all the way up to the 80s, I think, like early mid to 80s. Yeah, something like that. You had Snorks and Smurfs and stuff like that, though.
Jabberjaws, fucking Josie and the Pussycats, fucking Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Lab. Although I think Dexter's Lab was also on Cartoon Network, so.
Yeah, it was.
I remember really liking Fred and the Flintstones, or you know what I'm talking about, and
yeah, the Flintstones.
The fucking other one, Yogi Bear.
The Jetsons. Yogi Bear, the Jetsons. I wasn't really a big fan of Yogi. I don't know why. I think it's because I just didn't like how he looked for some reason.
So, yeah, little Lawrence thinking he looked dopey or something.
I don't know. It's like how all those Sonic fans are super autistic about what color blue he was. I'm like, I don't like the way this bear looks. It does not please me.
The bear is distasteful.
No, I tell you what I fucked with? Popeye. I used to wake up every morning whenever I fucking spent the night at my grandparents' house. I was always the first one awake because Popeye would be on right at the crack of fucking dawn. So I'd always be the first one awake to watch Popeye.
Oh, you wanna know what was my fucking jam anytime I visited Grandma's house? So, me and Mom, we lived pretty poor for a while, and we couldn't afford cable, but Grandma could afford cable. So we would go there, and when we were there, I would watch, fucking Boomerang, Disney XD, all that shit. And whenever we would stay the night, I would stay up and I would watch Cubo, which was one of those channels that was both like on cable and off cable. Although I didn't learn that it was also off cable for a while. And it would air like a lot of old shows. It would air a lot of shows that had like fucking no seasons. And it had some of my childhood bread and butter. Do you know Jacob Tutu?
No.
Oh, you're fucking missing out, man. It's this show that's like follows some like real life comedians during their childhood, but it's like animated and fucking off the wall, and it's got like.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about now that you just.
Oh, okay, yeah, Jacob Tutu. Okay, I literally had to look this up, dude. Like, you kind of unlocked a few memories here and there. That's a big one right there.
Yeah. Dude,
once you described what happened, like what's it about, I was like, okay, now I kind of understand what's going on here.
Yeah, there was so much fucking gold on Cubo. And if you would believe it, it only died as recently as 2023.
Yeah, that everyone died.
Yeah.
It's 2012. I was gonna say, fucking memory I have with like TV and shit is fucking Beyblade. Beyblade was a show that I watched pretty much almost fucking religiously, and I got really into like playing Beyblade at school. I'm not gonna tell the story when we all jumped that one kid, but fucking, I remember one time me and this dude got into an argument over like who won, because it was basically a spin out, but we both like spun out at the like almost exact same time. So we got into an argument over who won, and eventually I just got so pissed off I picked up the fucking bay and just fucking willed it at this kid. It fucking completely missed, but it hit the side of the fucking greenhouse. And imagine a piece of fucking metal hitting the side of a greenhouse. I fucking shattered it.
Oh man, they don't make Beyblades like they used to. They're all plastic garbage now.
Or lead. Or
Beyblades used to be my shit too. I fucking loved playing Beyblades with the other kids in the neighborhood. And that brings me to a story from like around first grade. It was the time I got my first crush, and I tried to invent the Beyblade tree. So, Charleston, West Virginia, where I once lived, it's a very hilly place. It's got a bunch of trees, that type of shit. And we lived on top of a hill. And there was a tree that like had a branch that broke off during the storm, so it had like a jagged piece that was like very easy to climb. And I looked at the tree because I was bored of just trying to do Beyblades on the shitty sidewalk or in a weird plastic bowl. And I was like, I want to do something different. I want to impress the kids in the neighborhood. And I took one of those plastic bowls that comes with some Beyblades kits. And I tried to climb up the tree and set it up in the tree. And I actually got pretty far. But I slipped. And this was in the middle of the summer. It was pretty hot, so I didn't have a shirt on. I fell, and I scraped across the jagged edge of the tree, right across like my left titty, and fell on my face. Thankfully, I didn't lose any of my Beyblades, and the plastic bowl was unharmed. But I was seen by a girl who directly called me a dumbass for attempting this. And then she got me some Band-Aids and stuff. And her showing affection for me and not being my mother was the thing that led to her being my first crush.
It's so easy when you're a kid, huh?
Yeah. It gets worse when you're an adult.
Yeah, no. Climbing a tree whenever I was younger, I'm pretty sure I've told this story of like, one time I was climbing, there's a tree in my yard whenever I lived out in the country. There's a tree that was like a big tree on the tree line that had a few really low branches, so it was pretty easy to climb. But in order to start it though, you have to do like a run-up thing where you run up, you take 2 or 3 steps on the side of the tree, and then you have to wrap your arms around the first branch, because it wasn't that tall, we were just young and short. So I did that whole run-up thing, and I was climbing like normal. And I decided this time I want to go to the very top, so I tried to get as high as I could, and I slipped something. I ended up falling, and I tried to put my arm out to break my fall, and I landed directly on my thumb, and it bent my thumb almost completely all the way fucking backwards.
Could you?
So
Could you touch your arm with the thumb, like your forearm?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. The tip of my thumb was touching my arm, and I immediately passed out from the pain, and I woke up in the hospital while they were doing surgery on my hand to try and make sure I wasn't completely fucked up for good. But I'm good now. But no, I had my fucking hand in a cast for like a month or 2.
I'm lucky I never broke a bone. I got pretty close when I, fell on my face out of a tree. And I know I got another injury story in here somewhere. Where is it? Oh yeah, around 2nd grade, Coonskin Park. So another thing in like the Charleston area is a place called Coonskin Park. I wonder if it's like raccoon skin or something racist, but I never learned why they called it that. Fucking great place. It's got some beautiful walks, some dirt bike pathways, and it's got one of those metal play places, in this transitional stage before they made everything out of plastic and after they made everything out of wood. And I would go there, I would play with my Hot Wheels and stuff, and in there, I met some other kid. I think his name was like Sam or something. And he also had Hot Wheels. So we were like doing fucking Fast and Furious whippets around the playground equipment. And us being 2 bored little kids decided to come up with a new game, car tag, where it's tag, but we try to touch each other with the cars, and if we touch each other with like our hands, it doesn't count. So we're running around, having fun, chasing each other, and I'm currently the guy getting chased. I'm looking behind me at him, not paying attention where I'm going. I turn around, and I smack my head on one of those like pull-up bars, but I hit it on the edge where there was a bolt sticking out, and I sliced open my forehead, and I ran into it pretty fucking fast. So as soon as I hit it, I immediately like fly back, land on my back and like the back of my head, and I'm just like out. My mom sees this and she starts freaking the fuck out because I'm bleeding profusely from the head and I'm not moving. She takes me into her car. I wake up and I'm freaking out because I'm bleeding pretty bad. Got some paper towels over my eye because it was like in my eyebrow. We go to the urgent care place and they assume that I've lost my eye. So they're talking about like emergency surgeries and shit, and I'm just freaking the fuck out. They get the thing off after getting this freaking out child to calm down enough for them to look at it. And they're like, oh, they get some super glue, wipe it off, glue me up, and they're like, all right, that'll be $350.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't like a children's hospital or something like that, they'd charge you like $5,000 just for that.
Yeah, that was pretty terrifying for my mom.
You ever get injured as a kid, Lone?
Well, a few scraped knees here and there, never to really like a massive extent. Like, yeah, I fell down, I hurt myself a few times, as kids do, but like it was never massively severe as I like, in comparison like y'all's stories or other stories I've heard though, and I thank God for that. But I like, yeah, nothing that massive though, but like obviously you fall off your bike, you scrape your knee or you scrape your arm basically. You get a paper cut, you get a splinter here and there, but like nothing like that drastic though.
One time I got a pencil in the wrist. It was around like, I think it was 2nd grade. I was trying to get a pencil into an eraser because that's just one of the things you did when you were bored as a kid. But it was a very tough eraser. And so I kink my hand back, you know, like rolling the wrist all the way back. And I'm holding the eraser out so that it's like hanging out over my wrist. And I'm trying to like stab the pencil through it. You can probably see where this is going. And I stab the eraser, but I'm like very much on the edge. It slips through and goes right into my wrist, and I start freaking the fuck out. And I was in the middle of class when I was supposed to be paying attention when this happened. And so the teacher, who was talking about like multiplication tables, just suddenly hears screaming and sees the little autistic child with a pencil in his arm.
Oh fuck! I miss being a kid, doing retarded shit, not immediately, dying for it. I genuinely think that kids are like way more durable than adults. Like there's just something that like kids and teenagers just walk off that you're seeing like that would have definitely fucking killed me.
Yeah, have you ever seen like the video of the Rucka brothers when they were kids? Where like they were fucking 8 years old. One picks up a step ladder, fucking hits the other with the other one over the head with it. Other one gets up and starts chasing the brother with like no crying whatsoever.
Yeah, those guys are pretty unhinged. It's kind of nuts how they started making movies, but I mean that's kind of a given.
So y'all seen their movies yet?
Yeah,
not me. I haven't checked. I haven't checked either.
Talk to Me, and then the other one was Get Her Back, right?
Yeah, Get Her Back was the other one.
Yeah, I think that one just came out though, so. Okay, we'll move on to that. What about horror movies? Y'all watch horror movies as kids?
Yes, they're some of my childhood classics. I remember the first time I saw The Exorcist. I was in this big lot behind the communal buildings that I lived in Charleston. My mom knew that I was playing back there, and I just decided to walk into one of the houses of the other people living there. You know, just this random child walking off into the house of someone that he doesn't know, because one of the other kids said that his parents were watching a movie, and that movie was The Exorcist. And it's like towards the end of the movie when Reagan's all fucked up and like doing demonic shit. and I'm just sitting in the stranger's house, scared out of my mind because I think that this creepy girl is going to jump out of the TV and bite me or something. But I keep watching for like a good 30 minutes, and it's like, I think it's around the time when the father starts, the priest, Father Karras, starts hitting Reagan. That's when my mom comes into the house of the stranger. Is like, what the fuck are you doing in here? And I'm like, Mom, it's scary.
Well, I mean, to be fair, could have gone a lot worse. It's like one of the best outcomes you can have going into a stranger's house.
Yep, especially where I was, because it wasn't a great neighborhood. When me and my mom moved to Missouri, she found out like 2 weeks after we left, there were 2 meth labs discovered in our neighborhood, 2 separate ones. So fucking Hatfields and McCoy's bullshit going on in there.
Then you move to fucking Missouri, and then you find out there's a meth lab on every block.
No, there's heroin labs on every block.
I see, the meth labs must have migrated out west, because now they're here. No, fucking...
Meth is out this season. We do heroin now. That's chic.
One of the first horror movies I think I've seen is fucking either fucking From Dusk Till Dawn or yeah, it had to House on Haunted Hill, I think. But those were like those are my earliest memories. Like I seen bits as a kid. I seen like bits and pieces like Saw or fucking Psycho or you know, Friday the 13th. But I never watched any horror movie in full until I watched one of those two. I don't remember which one came first. Then I got really into, technically not horror movies, but I was fucking, whenever I lived in the apartments, right, I got really fucking into like YouTube horror, like 2013, 2012, 2013 YouTube horror and shit. So PewDiePie, a lot of fucking PewDiePie. And, I also watched a shit ton like, those like dark and edgy Vocaloid songs and shit, like shit like Kagome, fucking Secrets of Wisteria, the Suicide Classroom one. I don't remember what the actual name of it was, but I think it was about like a classroom that people that go into end up committing suicide. But I got really fucking into that. The one thing though, the apartment, the room that we were in, it had one window, and that window faced directly out into like a woodsy sort of area with no light. There's a light by the window, like a street lamp by the window, but it doesn't reach all the way out into the woodsy area. So we're going to bed, and we had the blinds open because we were fucking retards. We had the blinds open, looking out towards this woodsy area where there's just darkness after a while. And you can imagine my brain going a mile a fucking minute. But I will say it was very cool, and I did enjoy it.
I lived, when I was in Charleston, I lived by some woodsy bullshit area. Because, you know, that's what most of Appalachia is. And the hill that we were on had some trees on it. But there was like a fence at the back of the top of the hill, and everything past that was just forest. And occasionally you would hear stuff like foxes or deer or some meth head that's strung out screaming. And combine that with some of the things that I watched as a kid. Like I saw Wrong Turn 4 in like the 4th grade. And if you know Wrong Turn, you know that it's set in West Virginia. So I would very often like just be playing in the backyard, minding my business, and I hear out in the forest, and I just fucking run. And I'd be like, Mommy, there's a scary man outside. That probably scared to death because, you know, Wrong Turn ain't real, but child predators are.
Look, You know what's, that's why you talk to your kids about child predators. You know what's scarier than Jason Voorhees and that one kid raised in Freddy Krueger? He's like, yes. Do you know why Freddy Krueger is scary? Cause he had a knife for a hand? No, cause he fucks young boys. And the kid's like, what?
Go to Freddy Krueger's house, you gonna get raped.
No, fucking. Yeah, I'll tell you this shit for free. Fucking. Back in the day, we really had no idea how good it was. Like, people can be like, oh, you know, 2012 PewDiePie was so cringe, it's so cringe. Yeah, but at least it's, genuine. Not some fucking fake persona that almost every other YouTuber puts on nowadays. And as a kid, you're gonna watch that fucking shit as a kid, and you're like, oh, it's so loud equals funny and shit. But back in the day, people did think that loud equal funny. People could laugh at shit like, bad example, but you know what? Say, back in the day, you'd play games like fucking Whack Your Boss and shit, where you're firing a fucking turd gun at a stick figure dude, right? And everyone's like, oh, that's so cringe.
That was Whack Your X.
Whack Your X, oh well. Same. Didn't it come from like a website like duty.com?
I think so.
But people nowadays would look at that and like, oh, that's so cringe. How could anyone, play that, all that shit? It's like, dude, fucking have fun. People can't have fun anymore. And even as a kid, I could tell that shit was going down fucking hill around 2013, 2014. Like, I could just tell shit was going downhill.
I wasn't as aware. I didn't really get on the computers until I was like 14.
I was a little fucking cynic, dude. Like, fuck, I was... Hang on. I have to recount, so... 4 years since... It's been 4 years since I graduated, so that's 18, then... 7 years... Yeah, it was like 11, 12, yeah. That was whenever I started becoming way more fucking cynical. Fucking hitting a cynic phase at like 12 or 13 is some rough shit, dude.
From what I hear, that's pretty par for the course now. I mean, just look at all the fucking 12-year-olds on Twitter who are trying to gain clout by calling someone a pedophile and telling me that being a cynical jackass isn't common now.
Well, that's just because kids have no fucking morals nowadays. And they don't know, like, look, let's talk into like child experiences shit. I was beat like a rented mule for almost a year, like 3/4 to almost a year, right? And you know what that taught me? Not to be a little fucking shithead. Now, I know there's a very fine line between discipline and abuse, but I know for a fact that spanking a kid is not abuse. Beating him over the head with a fucking PVC pipe, that is abuse. But, if a kid fucking backtalks you, slapping the shit out of him is not abuse. Slapping him across the face is not abuse. Now, if you do it multiple times, yeah, kinda.
Ooh, that can bring me to another story from my childhood, but does anyone else want to go forward with their childhood stories of traumatic shit?
I mean, we're having a good time. Let's not all start trauma dumping.
Okay, then.
I'm good. And a massive FYI, I think in like 20 minutes I might bounce.
Alright.
Yeah. So, go ahead, Marshall.
Okay, what were we talking about before?
Talking about abuse, some semi-abusive thing.
I mean, before the talk of abuse.
Talking about like kids becoming cynical way too fast, and like kids not knowing when to shut the fuck up, and they don't know that their actions have consequences. And yeah, as a kid, you'll get the shit kicked out of you, right? By other kids or by an adult that's had enough. As a kid, you get the shit kicked out of you, and they don't know that they know that, hey, if I fuck up, I'm going to be hurt. Sad but true. That's what happens in life. But as an adult, if you fuck up, you could die. You will die. If you piss off the wrong person, you will die. And kids don't fucking know that, and then they go out, they try and be little assholes on the street, and what do you know? They're fucking dead, and they're like, oh, who's to blame for this? I don't know, maybe the parents?
Yeah.
This has devolved into me bitching again.
Yeah, let's change the subject to something a bit more jovial. Like the time when I was 5 years old, I was at a fair, because those are things that happen outside of cities. It was at this field, which is a rarity in West Virginia, and it was there was games, there was deep fried bullshit food. It was a great time. I lost my mom after going on the merry-go-round, and so I'm looking around trying to find her. I'm asking for directions, and I go up to some clown who's smoking outside the tent, and it's an actual tent where smoking is a massive fire hazard, and he could have actually fucking killed someone. I go up to this guy who's got on the fake bald cap and the rubber nose and all that shit, and hey mister, do you know where my mommy is? And he just looks at me and tells me, hey, go fuck yourself, kid.
Fuck off, kid.
Yeah.
Very realistic clown. Also, were you guys scared as clowns as kids?
Yeah, I was pretty scared of clowns, because after that, there was a thing where Ronald McDonald came to our school and was trying to teach us about healthy eating, and I was just having none of that. And then after that, I saw Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
What a role model for healthy eating, McDonald's.
Yeah, Ronald McDonald trying to tell me about healthy eating.
Yeah, well, that's early 2000s McDonald's, so it might be better than what it is now.
To be fair, we also did watch videos of fucking Bush, George Bush denouncing, don't do drugs and all that shit. He's don't you have cocaine? Weren't you part of the cocaine trafficking thing?
I think that was Bill Clinton.
Both. Hey, Clinton, both Bushes, they're all in on it.
Yeah.
That was Reagan. Wait, which are we talking about? If we're talking about the coke peddling, that was Reagan.
No, he was the crack peddling, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Bill Clinton was boys on the tracks kind of stuff.
I was never afraid of clowns. In fact, as I grew older, around 10 or 11, I really started thinking clowns were badass as shit. And also, my great grandma on my mom's side, she had her house was filled with miniature porcelain clowns and shit like that. Decorations like that. So I was always around them, so I never thought they were creepy. We'd go and visit once or twice a year whenever I was real young. So I didn't think it was too creepy. The weird thing about it though, her neighborhood always smelled like dead bird. I think they may just had a bunch of stray cats in the neighborhood, but every time I went over there, I just remembered smelling dead bird and associating the smell of a dead bird with my great grandma's house. That's
quite the smell association.
I associate everything, the song I listen to with a memory, or what a taste, a smell, a song. I always end up associating that with either memory, a time, or a place. But that goes back to my other thing, fucking buying my first manga with my own money, and then immediately after I bought it, it was the Pokemon Black and White Volume 1. And I'm calling that as a manga because fuck you. But I bought it and we went to the city that night, and my parents went to Walmart, and whenever you're at a certain tax bracket, going to Walmart is an outing, right? So after we got back, after they got done at Walmart, I don't remember what they bought, but they were going to pick up some shit from Walmart. It was a Friday night. They pick up shit from Walmart. Then we went to a Chinese restaurant, and we go to the city for this, right? And this is a very nice Chinese restaurant. I wanted to take Nora to it, but I don't think I did. Which if I did, like, it's always a blast from the fucking past, dude. I always remember sitting in one of the booths, eating that fucking, like, Chinese buffet. I had my fucking little Pokemon Black and White manga with me, and then we get to go and, my dad calls our grandparents on the phone, and they find out, hey, if you guys want to go spend the night at Grandma and Grandpa's, you can. So me and my brother were just like, fuck yeah. We went over to their house. That night we watched the Teen Titans Go, or no, Teen Titans movie. Fuck, that goddamn show ruined my brain. Teen Titans Go ruined my fucking brain. No, the Teen Titans movie, the one where it's in Japan.
Oh yeah.
All three of those things, getting the manga, eating at a Chinese buffet, and watching Teen Titans in Japan, that was more than likely one of the biggest bedrocks for my love of, like, Asian culture, right? Chinese, Japanese, Korean, even Filipino, Thai, like Mongolian, like Asian culture. I just had like an interest and fascination to it. Like it mostly stemmed from that one night. Mostly Japanese, of course, because Pokemon, manga, Teen Titans Japan, but Chinese American food. The more I talk, the more I realize it's very easy for people to say that, you know what, I think this guy is actually unironically racist.
You gotta be a little racist. I associate.
You gotta generalize everything with rice.
The rice people.
No, I was gonna say generalize everything with rice.
I associate sandstone with my grandma's house, because she lived on a hill. Because everyone in West Virginia either lives in on a hill or a valley, and on the top of this hill there was a bunch of sandstone, and I used to love throwing rocks at it and watching it just fucking break apart. It made me feel like I was the Hulk and I was super strong. And one day I went up and kicked a giant slate of it, and a fucking huge ass spider, like this thing must have been 10 inches across, just scurries out from under it, and I went and ran inside.
Spider isn't going to get me under the bed, is it?
I hope not. There was a lot of fucking spiders on that hill. I remember the first time I saw a wolf spider was at my grandma's house. It was right on the front porch as I was trying to get in, and I didn't see it until I was like fucking a foot away from it. And the thing, that one must have been like, I don't know, that one also might have been 10 inches across, because it was huge as well. There was a lot of spiders and snakes and shit on that hill.
There's a time I played baseball from 1st grade through 4th grade, and I don't remember what year it was, but I do remember one year there was a snake in outfield, and I played outfield because I was retarded. So they always put the retarded kids in outfield whenever you're that young, because nobody ever hits it that far.
I also sorry to interrupt, but I also played in outfield.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you retarded inadvertently.
No, it's okay. I've come to terms with my lack of mental acuity.
There's a little gardener snake out there, right? So I did the natural thing, and I'm standing around, kicking the grass, like just bored as shit, and I see the little gardener snake. So I just pick it up by its tail. And fucking Ump calls a ball or something, and he looks out and he sees me with a snake, and he just points like, fucking drop it! And so I didn't know what he was talking about, so I using my gloved hand, I took my hat off and threw it on the ground, and It took the coach coming over and grabbing the snake from me and like whipping it outside the fucking baseball diamond for me to realize, oh, don't pick up snakes.
Oh man.
Oh fuck! Another funny ass thing that happened there was there was this dude. Whenever I played, like,
Hey,
again,
sorry, I
like,
gotta bounce, guys. All right.
Yes.
It was fun. It was fun, but like, yeah, gotta go.
Say hello.
See you alone. I think I'll just finish up this one more story if you're good for that.
Anyways.
I was fucking there's this dude that I played with, and I was young, like 1st grade, 4th grade. I was very young. There's a dude that I played with. His last name was Dicker.
You still there?
Right? Yeah, me. Hello?
Hold on, I think my Discord's fucked up.
Oh fuck. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll get back to it. We'll do one more story, and then we'll if you're good for it. Or do you have any other stories you got?
Oh, I got quite a few stories.
I was just going to tell one more baseball story, this final baseball story. But there's this guy on my team, right? We were in 1st, 4th grade, right? Very young. So you can imagine how you're supposed to behave at a very young baseball game like this, right? So there's this guy that I played with. I think he was on, I don't know if he was on my team or not, but I just know that he might have been on my team, but his last name was Dicker, right? So anytime he did anything at all, swing, miss, bunt, actually hit the ball, doesn't matter. His dad would be in the stands and he'd just stand up and just go, "Dicker down!" Loud as shit. Highly fucking inappropriate at a kid's baseball game, and nobody told him to shut up, ever. Right, do you got another story?
That brings me to a fork in the road on what I want to tell next, because I do have a baseball story, and I do have a story of a kid who was very unfortunately named.
I want to hear the unfortunately named kid.
Okay, so Charleston, West Virginia. When I was in kindergarten, it was like a school that went from kindergarten all the way to, I think, like 6th grade. And there was this kid in 5th grade, so that would be like 10 years old. But this kid looks like he was fucking 13, so like 3 years held back. White kid, freckles, brown hair, hazel eyes, motherfucker named Bojangles.
His name Bojangles?
Yes.
Like the chicken place?
Yes, the chicken place, and from what I have heard from certain people, it might also be a racial slur for like black people, but I don't know how true that is.
I fucking I always made jokes with this dude, like saying Bazinga nonstop, and eventually everyone got tired of hearing Bazinga nonstop. Not because we like Big Bang Theory, but we were doing it sarcastically, like, what's the most annoying thing you can say at this exact moment? Reference Big Bang Theory. So we'd either end up saying fucking Bojangles or Zimbabwe instead of Bazinga. Oh fuck.
It's Rhodesia now, isn't it?
Fucking, it's okay. What's your thought process, right? You're becoming a dad. Your wife is pregnant for 9 months, so she's complaining the entire time about how much it sucks, and you're like, God, I hate this bitch. I hate this kid. I wish I didn't have to go through this. You know what? Just out of spite, this kid's name fucking Bojangles.
Fucking Bojangles. I think his parents were meth heads. I never found out, but I'm just speculating because it was like Charleston at any time after the 1940s, and they were a white family. The kid was pretty skinny, which is, from what I've heard, a sign of crack babies. So Bojangles, fucking probably 3 years held back, named after a chicken place. He was the cool kid because he was older. He would get in trouble a lot. I remember one time there was this thing after regular classes where parents who had to work a lot could have their kids stay for like an extra hour or two after school, and then they could pick them up after that. It was called something like third base or home base, something like that. And Bojangles was a regular there. And anytime like a kid was in trouble for something and it got figured out after school, they would get called out in home base. And I remember Bojangles got called out because he was teaching the kindergartners racial slurs.
Yeah?
Yep.
Look, the kid's named Bojangles. He doesn't really have much else going on for him, alright?
Yeah. I remember he was the kid who taught me the words like fuck and ass and shit. Whenever we would play Mario on DS, like Mario Party or some shit, he would join and he would kick all of our asses because his frontal lobe was slightly more developed and he could strategize. And I fucking hated him for it.
He could think more than one sentence ahead, pretty much. Some of the coolest names I know around here is there's this one dude that I knew growing up who his name was Elias Brixburn. And I was like, that is a fucking Western protagonist name.
He's the guy who shoots 13 natives and then gets scalped alive.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Do you think that's good to call it for now?
Yeah. If you're done, I won't hold you any longer. All right.
I will talk to you later.
See ya.
See you.